Hey, this is Ken Finnan, and welcome to Securities Showdown, where egos clash and the gloves come off. Tonight's matchup, broker-dealers versus investment advisors. One sells you what you want, the other claims to act in your best interest. Who's the hero and who's the villain? Let's meet our fighters, Sarah, who believes in commissions make the world go round, and Mark, who swears by fees and fiduciary duty. Let's rumble. Why am I always talking to cartoons? This is a goddamn circus. What has my life become? Okay, Sarah, let's start with you. Broker-dealers often get a bad rap for being sales-focused. What's your defense? Defense? I don't need a defense. Broker-dealers give clients exactly what they ask for, products that work for their goals. We're like a buffet. You pick what you want and we serve it up. Investment advisors, on the other hand, are like those restaurants with no menu. Trust the chef, they say, while charging you triple for something you don't even want. Buffet? Try a used car lot. Broker-dealers push whatever pays them the biggest commission. Meanwhile, investment advisors are fiduciaries. We put our clients' interests first, not our paychecks. Sarah's team is all about conflicts of interest wrapped in a shiny sales pitch. Oh, here we go again with the fiduciary sermon. Newsflash, Mark, just because you charge a fee doesn't make you a goddamn saint. At least I'm upfront about how I get paid. Your precious fees are just commissions with a bow on top. Okay, Mark, let's talk conflicts of interest. Investment advisors claim to avoid them. True? Absolutely. As fiduciaries, we are legally obligated to act in our client's best interest and disclose any conflicts. Broker-dealers, on the other hand, just have to meet the suitability standard, which is basically code for good enough. If Sarah sells you a product that works for you but lines her pockets, that's fine by her rules. Suitability isn't good enough, Mark. It's tailored to the client's needs. And let's not pretend you're conflict-free. You charge fees based on assets under management, so you're incentivized to tell clients, don't pay off your mortgage, give me the money instead. You're just as biased, but you dress it up in fancy legal terms. Wow, Sarah, that's rich coming from someone who gets kickbacks for pushing mutual funds with 12B1 fees. At least my fees are transparent. Your conflicts are hidden in fine print so small, even lawyers need a magnifying glass. Kickbacks? You mean the commissions I earn for providing real value to my clients? Sorry if that bothers you, Mark. Maybe you should try working in sales. You might learn how to talk to actual people. Let's dig into the rules, Sarah. Broker-dealers are regulated by FINRA, but Mark's camp has the SEC. Who's got the better oversight? That's right, Ken. Broker-dealers are under the watchful eyes of both FINRA and the SEC, which means people got double the oversight to protect investors and keep things running smoothly. Investment advisors, on the other hand, only deal with the SEC, which is so busy with hedge funds and corporate filings, they barely have time for Mark and his ivory tower pals. Double the oversight? That's a stretch, Sarah. FINRA is a self-regulation at its best, like letting teenagers set their own curfews. Sure, the SEC looks over your shoulders, but let's not pretend FINRA is run by the same firms it's supposed to be policing. At least the SEC holds us to one clear, consistent fiduciary standard. One clear, consistent fiduciary standard? You mean the SEC telling you to slap best interests on everything and call it a day? FINRA actually understands how the industry works. We're held to a suitability standard that ensures clients get what they need without drowning in unnecessary paperwork. Suitability? Oh, you mean the good enough standard? Broker-dealers only have to make sure the product isn't terrible. Meanwhile, investment advisors are required to act in their client's best interest. That's where we're trusted more, because we're not playing both sides of the table. Trusted more? Please. Your fiduciary halo doesn't mean squat when your AUM fees pile up year after year, even if the client never makes a single change. At least broker-dealers only get paid when we actually do something. Your clients are paying for a glorified lecture. Let's paint a picture, Sarah. What's a scenario where the broker-dealer is the better choice? That's easy. Say a client wants to buy a specific stock or bond. They don't need any long-term plan. They just need execution. Why should they pay Mark's fees when all they want to do is buy Apple stock? Broker-dealers get it done fast with no unnecessary fluff. Right, because nothing says personalized service like selling a product and disappearing until the next trade. If a client wants real financial planning, retirement strategies, tax efficiency, estate planning, they need an investment advisor. Broker-dealers are fine if you're okay being a number on a spreadsheet. And investment advisors are fine if you just like paying someone to tell you, just hold on to this ETF and cross your fingers. You're not planning. You're just stalling. Final thoughts. Why is your model better, Mark? Because we're fiduciaries. We're legally required to act in our client's best interest. Broker-dealers might have a place for basic transactions, but if you want someone to actually care about your goals, you need an investment advisor. Care about your goals? That's cute, Mark. My client wants result, not hand-holding. Broker-dealers get the job done efficiently and affordably. If you want someone to charge you for overcomplicating things, go with Mark. If you want action, come to us. Action, more like sales taxes disguised as advice. And investment advisors are all talk, no results. Enjoy your compliance paperwork, Mark. I'll be out here actually helping people. Well, there you have it. Broker-dealers promise quick results and tailored products, while investment advisors swear by fiduciary duty and the long-term planning. Whether you prefer Sarah's fire or Mark's moral superiority, the choice is yours. Join us next time on Securities Showdown, where the stakes are high and the insults are higher. I need a new job.
Jesse, how have you been?
I've been...
Great. I'm back, and you're fired. Hello, all. No need to run. Your fates have already been sealed. You're safe.
Oh, my God.
You're safe for now. Hello, nice to see you. Who's your best client?
Jesus. I represent John and Kate Pussy.
Where are you, Davies?
All right. I'm already packing to save myself the indignity.
That's too bad.
Orange, Jesus Christ! You lost your mind, Ori?
Now, where's Lloyd Lee?
Mr. Lee knew that you were coming, Mr. Gold. He decided not to wait for your arrival.
Now, why don't I believe you? Now, Lloyd, maybe you're not here. Maybe you are. Either way, you have nothing to fear because I'm not going to kill you. I love you. You see, even though you betrayed me, you were the best.
Let's go, baby. That is outstanding. That's one of my favorite clips that I did. That edit was one of my favorites, the one with the little entourage. Makes me want to actually pay Hulu or HBO Max and watch the whole series again. It is outstanding. Welcome on Thursday night. It's Thursday night. The market was down again, 5%, 5%. Dow was down 5, NASAA was down 5, and the S&P was down 5. And why is that? Because of tariffs. It's literally, until somebody says otherwise, no other news will come in above tariffs. So if anyone goes, why is it down? Tariffs. Why is it up? Oh, maybe backed off on the tariffs. It is always going to be tariffs. Unemployment jobs number were great the other day. Nobody cared. Employment was up today. Nobody cared. It was all about the tariffs. Okay, Paula, you're taking the 7 is not your night, but this is it. I do a little intro every time, set everything up, give you a little little story ahead of time, get you entertained. I try to make it match the test we're taking. Okay, I love it. Now, Drew, hold on, baby. Hold on. Let me do one thing. Jason, I'll get to you, Drew, in a second. It's funny that your name's Drew and you went to FTU, though. You should have, it was total miss on that part. Okay. What's my advice in differentiating the types of risk-specific market and business? Well, it's really just working through them, right? Think about it. So I don't think on the 65 and 66 and 63, which is what tonight is, right? They're not going to ask you, is this systematic or non-systematic? They're more going to give you a scenario and go, do you understand the risks? Like, do you understand that there's interest rate risk? If you have bonds, stuff like that. It's the SIE, you'll have to know the difference. But again, it's definitional. And watch the videos that I'm putting out. I have a bunch of risk videos or suitability videos. I think I put the suitability video in. I think I put it in the crash course. I think I did. You can check. Hold on. Daru, you're done. Outstanding. That is awesome, 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 awesome. Find the good one. Here we go.
Gotta get that. Gotta get that. Boom, boom, boom.
I love it. Drew, that is outstanding. Let me fix this thing. Oh, I have to do it this way, right? Let me fix that. There we go. This way I'm not knocked out. Okay. I am so happy about this. Now, you're done. You were ready anyway. I'm telling you right now, based on everything I saw, you were ready to pass this test already. I wasn't even worried about that. So we're fine, right? You're done. I assume other than life and health, maybe you have to do that, but boom. And I do love the fact that you were drunk when you took after you took the test. That is outstanding. And I'm going to miss you. I'm going to miss all our little lacrosse chats. Okay. And we're on. Tomorrow, keep thinking today's Friday. Even my video said it was Friday. Saturday is my son's senior day, but I mean, he's not technically a senior. He may have another year left, but I think he's done. He wants to be done playing. It's supposed to pour, so I don't know what to do for senior night. We go out on the field and get soaked. I don't know. Okay, Paula, this is just my little intro to get everyone entertained before I start boring them with my shit. Happy, meet me anytime. You meet me, Mike, I'm gonna fucking kick your ass. Anytime. Beer at 10, I'll take 10. I don't even drink that much. Like I have one of my students is I'm sitting there with a blue label bottle, a lot of blue label sitting there waiting for me. But I told him don't send it till he passes. So we're both incentivized to pass. Okay. This is Mike LaRosa. The guy I told him I would never help him with another test. Actually, he's gonna be one of my tutors in about 2 weeks. And he wants to know for the 79. That has not happened. I told him if he ever takes another test to find someone else. Because he's very passionate. He's good. Look, this is like the superhero. If you saw my video about the pain in the ass, this is him. He failed the 7 3 times, passed the 666 on the first shot, came back, passed the 7 on the fourth, and then passed the 24 about 2 weeks ago. Maybe about 3 weeks ago. This is a guy who says the word never give up. And Mike, the thing about the park, I saw the parking lot thing. If you can't find anyone else, let me know. I could probably let you park. I got enough parking spots. I got a big enough property. I could probably hide your car somewhere. There we go. And by the way, if anyone hasn't seen that Ari scene, you got to go watch Entourage. That's amazing. Okay, here we go. Okay, Cody. I feel my Kaplan 66 practice one with 7. Okay, you're close. You're fine. You're fine. Go take the fucking test. Go take the test. Again, here's the thing. Here's the other part. If it's the actual practice exam, that's way harder than the exam. It's way, way, way harder than the exam. The actual practice exam is actually harder than the exam. If it's just one of the regular practice ones, fine. But if you're using the benchmark of the practice, they go out of their way to drive you nuts. Like, I will never worry about taking one of these exams. I'll pass every one of them with flying colors, but I take those, I'm struggling the whole time. So go book it. Okay. Yes, finish that. Okay. See you tomorrow, Paula. You're probably not here anymore. You're like, fuck, out. Okay. While I'm waiting, okay, a couple things. Obviously, I tutor all day long, but my dog's going to start barking. So now, I have a neighbor. It's one of those neighbors that every dog has to stop by them. So that's what I'm doing my dog. You're going to hear me kill them. I need like a water. Hey. No. Good boys. Okay, way to protect me. All 12 pounds of you. Okay, so now, you gotta throw that next one in there. Goosefraba. 3 dogs, and the smallest one is the loudest. Always. So, I tutor all day long. If you want help that way, I'm at series7exam.org. I have the memberships, which are tomorrow night at 6 p.m. Eastern. It's for $25. If you have any questions, hit the guy Jeff at capadvantagetutoring.com. He's scrolling on the bottom. He'll answer any questions, walk you through it. Hold your hand as you helps you'll sign up for everything. What else do we got? We have free resources. Then make sure you check out Facebook. If you guys have a Facebook, even though only the cool people have Facebooks, okay? Go check out FINRA and NASAA Exam Test Prep Network. There's like 7,500 people in there. People don't fucking leave. They stay on there after they pass and they help each other out. They literally do. It's amazing. And I mean, we have 7 one group for every single exam. It's a private group. They have chats for every exam. Tutors on there coming on all the time. It's me, Michael Weiss, Michael LaRosa. My brother's on there sometimes, but he doesn't answer a lot. And there's a couple other guys who are in there answering questions all the time. And even the non-tutors are going, hey, I saw this, I saw that. Like they give little pointers about what they saw in the exam. They would never, ever, ever give away questions. You know that, because that would be a violation. But they do good stuff. And I post stuff in there and I answer questions. But it's literally such a grassroots organic thing that I help a little bit and they like me in there. But I started it and it's just been growing. And I mean, 7,500 people, that's goddamn incredible. Okay, now, Paula, see you later. See you Friday night. Okay. Kevin, okay. Thank you. Thank you for staying on for that, Drew, baby. Okay. Now, here's the question. So here's the actual rule. So if I'm a Canadian broker-dealer and I'm fully registered in Canadian, I know it's Canada, I like to say Canadian. If I'm fully registered in Canadian and one of my clients decides to visit the US, the actual rule is they have to do a limited registration. Now, some states don't require it. Now, some states say you don't have to register, but they have to do a consent to service a process and a limited registration. That's what they're doing. Consent to service a process and then a limited registration, very limited, like just like here, fill. It's almost like a little bit more than notice filing, but they do have to do a limited registration. They don't have to be fully registered. I always thought for the longest time they didn't have to register at all because some of the states I deal with, they don't have to. But the rule is they have to do a limited registration. And some of the books say it wrong, but I read it in the rules specifically. They have to do a limited registration. That's NASAA. Again, that's a NASAA rule. Some states don't require it. So in real life, you may not have to register, but I would say under this test, they gots to be registered. Okay. Okay. Michael Gillespie. Okay. Yeah. Remember, you didn't read. Here's the thing. So this is your question, right? So you did the STC book, you did the question, you're getting 70s, right? And then you switch vendors to a more detail-oriented, more confusing, more convoluted vendor. So without reading their book, of course your scores are going to go down. So I think your best bet is to just do chapter quizzes at first. Don't do full finals. Do chapter quizzes, okay? Start doing like 10 question quizzes until you get them all right. Anything under 70, reread. Maybe somebody in the Facebook group has a copy of the Coppin book, whatever. You want the Q-Bank. Maybe somebody has it, they can lend you, whatever that means. Maybe that's how you can look stuff up, but I would start doing quizzes. And look, even if you just read the Kaplan book and you switch to SDC, your score go down. Because you didn't read their book, so you don't know how they word shit. You got to get used to the wording. So do the chapter quizzes, small ones. They call them units. Do unit quizzes at first, and then you move from there. Okay. Okay. Yeah, well, I'm ready for you. I remember, so anyone taking the 24, if you not that this is the night for it, but whenever you're done with all this and you have to take the 24, don't forget I have a Sunday night. I'm back on Sunday nights again. A Sunday night principal exam during lacrosse season at 7 at night, but the rest of the time it's going to be at 6 at night. I mean, the problem is it started off with like 12 people in December, and 11 of them have passed. I have one left, and she's a new one. So literally everyone in that 24 group passed or done. Done. So it's for the 63. This is CS. Okay. Okay. Yes. Here's the problem with. Hold on. Okay. So here's a problem with the 63 and the way the questions are written. First of all, you're on your third fucking day, CS. That is ridiculous that you're feeling that. Don't worry about it. Not that you shouldn't be feeling it, but don't worry about it. It's more ridiculous that you're freaking about it. You're on your third day. You're taking it in 11 days. Get through the book. It's a little confusing, but what happens is the vendors and even the exam, the rules are simple. Okay, so I have those videos in my playlist, and if you haven't watched my playlist, what the fuck are you saying? I have a 63 playlist that's literally for the 63, and the first 4 or 5 videos are the rules, like the broker-dealer rules, security rules, stuff like that, like how to register. The rules are pretty straightforward, but what happens is the test, okay? The test, let's see how the best way to explain it. The test will throw a scenario at you to make you think that the rule doesn't apply, like, oh, it's exempt, and it doesn't. So, like, can you lend money to customers? Okay, no. The answer is no. Unless they're a lending institution or affiliated of a broker-dealer IA, right? Now, they'll throw a question at you and go, that's the rule. They'll say, well, CS once had, his father is looking to borrow some money for, he's a customer and wants to borrow some money. Can he lend it to him? No. They'll say even, can they lend to him with firm approval? No. You cannot lend to your family members. Okay. Okay. Hope that helps a little bit. Again, you're still too soon to be worrying about it. Get through the book, take the questions. It'll start gelling, okay? But always remember, don't look for the exceptions. Don't look for exceptions. They will say it. they will make it very clear that they're looking for an exception. So don't grab the exception unless they make it where that you're like, oh, I have to. Okay. Okay. Yes, obviously registration of broker-dealers and the agents and all that, but in the securities. But here's the thing. Ethics and prohibited activity is massive on this, okay? On the 63 and even the 65 and 66, it's heavy. But on the 63, ethics and prohibited activity is a big one, okay? You got to make sure you have that down. Ethics and prohibited activities are quite massive, okay? So they will be surely enough to dunk you, okay? Okay. I can, okay. Troy and Cody, I'll answer that question in 1 second, okay. By the way, Jeff, yeah, no, you're fine. Jeff, don't go to Kaplan anymore, but you're fine. If you drop your score switching vendors, you're fine. Jeff Silverman, I think. I'll get back to you. Okay. Now, let's talk about this. So an exempt security, and I have a video on this. It's called Can I Sell a Security? It's like one of my third or fourth video in the playlist. This is for all the exams. An exempt security is a security that will never have to register. Treasuries, stock exchange, commercial paper under 270, banks, stuff like that. They're issuers where they will never have to register on the state level. Never. So that's an exempt security. Now, if you sell that stuff, you still have to be registered unless you work for them, right? So if you work for a broker-dealer, it doesn't matter what you sell, you got to be registered. If you work for the issuer, it matters. If you work for the actual issuer, and you're selling exempt securities, you won't have to register. As long as you're not getting commissions, just pretty much, let's go with that. The vendors will throw a lot of curves at you, but don't worry about it. Now, exempt transactions are like normal non-exempt securities, but they have to register, okay? So exempt transactions are for non-exempt securities. So like if I sold shares, okay? If I sold shares to the public, my tutoring company, it's crap. There's no exemption. Or another company, a non-exempt security, sold shares through a qualification, which is like one state, okay? So now, that would normally have to register. But if let's say I do CATS tutoring in New Jersey, and I decide that I do CATS tutoring in New Jersey, and somebody in New York wants to buy my shares. They can't because I'm not registered there. I did a qualification in Jersey. That's it. However, they could do it if it's an exempt transaction, isolated non-issuer, or they're an institution, or it's an unsolicited non-issuer, or it's part of a bankruptcy or a dead person's estate sale, or as I'm selling to employees or an underwriter. Those are exempt, or private placement, which is less than 10 retail and as many institutional as you want, or non-institutional as retail. Those are all exempt transactions. Those are one-offs. This is the way I explain it. An exempt security, and I said this all the time, is like your friend owns a nightclub. It's a great nightclub in Miami, South Beach, right? Awesome. You get in, you never have to wait in line, you never have to pay the cover, you just walk in anytime because you fucking own it. That's an exempt security, okay? An exempt transaction is you have a coupon. You may have 30 of them, but you have a coupon to get in. You need the coupon to get in. It's like a one-off. So you can get you get a coupon to get in and not wait in line for the club, but it's a one-time thing. You can't use it a million times, okay? I mean, you can do it over and over again as long as you have that coupon. So an exempt security will never have to register. An exempt transaction normally does have to register, but if you do it in a certain way or sell it to certain people, you don't have to. That's the big difference between the exempt securities and exempt transactions. Hope that helps. And again, I have a video on that called Can I Sell a Security? Okay, so Cody and Troy, I'll answer the two questions. If you're in the $25 membership, yes, you are more than welcome to come in. Now, so understand, Troy, if you're doing for the 7, so we'll talk about that after. If it's for the 63, 65, 66, it's at 6 p.m. Eastern on Fridays. As long as you join as long as in the $25 a month membership or higher, you are in on those. You're in on those, and it's called Serious Study Group or Options Class, or don't do the principles unless you take it to 24. It's too expensive. It's at 6 p.m. Eastern. The link goes out. Remember, so here's the thing: if you guys subscribe to me, you gotta fucking turn the bell on because I send shit out. And how would you know? So everyone who's subscribed to me, Go make sure you have the little bell for notifications on. And especially if you join the study, if you join the membership, because that's how you find out what the link is, because they change the link every week so nobody gets in that doesn't pay. So on 4 p.m. Eastern, I send out the link under my posts. And only the people who are members at that level can see it. So if come 5 o'clock, you don't see the link in the post tab or the membership tab, then you have the wrong membership. So if you want to get in the class, you cannot be in the membership replays, which is $5 a month, or the options only ones. You cannot be in either one of those. You can do them; they're great, but they're not going to help you with the class. So that's that. Now, Troy, I don't know which one you have, so let's talk about it. If you're in the $25 a month, you will get access to the 7 p.m. FINRA class. If you do the 50 and the options videos, everything below. Remember, the way the tiers go is when you buy the higher thing, you get everything below. Okay. So if you do the serious study group, you're getting the one class at 7 p.m. and then all the options videos and then all the you get to see the replays of the old classes. If you do the $50 one, you get the 7 class, the options videos, and then we do an options class at 8 p.m. on Friday. So they're back to back. 7 p.m. Friday, 8 p.m. Friday. And yes, if you're in the $25 one, you'll get the class. If you're in the 50, you get both classes. Either way, as long as you're paying, I guess, $20 a month or higher, you'll get the options and you get the options too. Okay. Now, Jeff. Brandon, we'll get to you for a second. The Kai is a fucking hard test, my man. Okay. Don't leave. Yeah, okay. Again, it's not panic time. Jeff, you're getting 80s on past perfect. As long as you're not memorizing, you're fine. And in reality, if that was your first Kaplan test, most people start out in the 60s. Like I literally have a student who couldn't get over 62 on Kaplan until past the 7. So you're fine. You're in a great, especially if you're scoring 80s on past perfect. You switch a vendor just to take a test. You haven't read their book and your score's at 69. You're fine. If you want to take another one tomorrow, take it. But don't sweat this. You got this. You're ready. Jeffrey, you're ready. Okay. You got the series exam. I appreciate it. Thanks for watching. Okay. Don't sweat the fucking Kaya. It's it's like a mini CFA, right? It's a mini CFA. It's not here's the thing. Failure is a thing. So when do they offer it more than once a year? I think they offer it twice a year, like the CFA you can do, right? So then just use it as a study tool. And remember these things, I think the Kaya does it too. I think they do the dynamic score, right? Does Kaya. Oh, yeah. Test. Let's see. Yeah, so the pass rate for the Kaya was 46%. Okay? 50, so it depends. I don't know what it is this year, but don't worry about it. I mean, literally half the people fucking pass. Last year, less than half the people pass. So relax, baby, relax. You'll be fine. How often do they offer it? How often do they offer it? That's the question. That's the next one, right? Do they offer it? So there's level 1 or level 2. Did you get? So how? Yeah, fucking 46%. It's crazy. So is that level 1 or level 2? I don't see where it says how often, but I'm assuming it's probably twice a year, like the CFA. Okay. Don't sweat it, baby. Hey, Brandon. Again, it's not that big a deal because if you have to, that means half the people. Literally in 2024, 54% of people missed it, so you're fine. Okay. I didn't know it was 2 levels. Okay. Yeah, I post dear John, you will when I think I post some of them. If not, when you come in, John, when you come into the class on Sunday, it's going to be at 7, not 6. Remember that, because I have the cross stuff. I'll give you the links to the old videos. It's easy to do. So even if I don't have them posted, I'll give them to you. Okay. Okay. Okay, Natalie, I'll get to you in a second. So now. Okay. Okay. So if you have it, let's see. Do you have it? Let's see. Does STC do it? Let me see some. STC does a good job of some things. Let's see if they have it for me. Series. Let's see if they do a retirement plan. Let's see. Do they have a thing on retirement plan? Let's see if they have it. Prohibited, administrative, Federal Securities Act, investment advisory. Don't go. Here we go. Oh, yeah. So let's see if that works. So 1035. You all hang out. We'll get there. We're almost there. Let's see. Because sometimes they have good charts, and I'm going to share it if they do. That's balance sheet. You can watch my retirement account video. It'll help. But here we go. Let's see if it, because a lot of times at the end of the chapter, they do like a chart that helps them. Let's see. Hope they do. Sometimes they do. Sometimes they don't. Sometimes they piss me off and I feel like an idiot. Nope, they don't. Oh, well. Again, don't worry about them too much, but think about it. So you have to care about qualified versus not qualified, right? So qualified account, qualified means that it's pre-tax, sponsored by a corporation. 401k for corporations, 403b for teachers. 457 is technically non-qualified, but all the qualified ones are like 401k, 403b, KEO, SEP IRA, simple IRA, pension plans. Those are all qualified. It means they're sponsored by and protected by ERISA. Don't worry about them too much, okay? But Gear, you got to start writing them down. So what I want you to, this is what I want you to do before I answer your question on this, because that's a big ass fucking question. I want you to go to my videos, okay? Let's see if I can find it. Okay, Capital Advantage. Let's see if it shows up. Here. This should help you. So Gear, watch this video, the one I'm posting here. Okay. Here we go. Oh, I'm not that far behind, am I? I'm only about 10 minutes behind. Okay. Not bad. I may get out of here early. Okay. There we go. So Gear, watch that video and make a chart. Just put an Excel spreadsheet, a sheets, whatever it is. Put like qualified, not qualified, 401k, 403b. Do that, and then just make a little thing. But again, it's not that busy, so don't worry about it. Okay. Yeah, John, as I said, yes, just on Sunday night, join. Remember, this is not FINRA, so I'm not going to spend a lot of time on it. Sunday night, just join, and then just remind me, and I'll send you the videos of the old ones. Okay. I have like 15 of them, right? Okay. So here's where we go. This is what you do. If you want to join the membership, this is what we're talking about a lot, I guess. Okay, which is fine with me because it's money, 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 money. Now, all you have to do is go on my channel. I don't think it shows up on this thing. And there's a button that says subscribe and then join. Hit the join button. It'll say perks. The one you want to take is serious study time. Okay, that is going to be the $25 a month. Do not do it on your phone. iPhone upcharges by 30%. Do it on your laptop, then you can watch it anywhere. It's just where you sign it up that Apple gets you. If you do it on your iPhone, they're going to charge you 30% on top of it. So it's $25 a month. And then remember, when you join, turn on the notifications so that when I send out the link, you will get a notification. Because what I get a lot of times is at 6:01, I don't see the notification. So I say, go look in the fucking posting, and they go, oh, there it is. But I had to waste time taken away from students to do that. So if you're running into trouble and you can't find it by 5:30, do not text me at 6. Text me at 5:30, 5:40. I can help you. Okay. Eastern. Okay. Okay. I'm reading this. Hold on 1 second. Here we go. I'm looking for something that's going to help you here. Hold on. Here it is. So Stephanie, I don't do the Series 65 stuff here. So I will. Here is the video for economics factors. Try that one first, and then we'll talk. Okay. Okay. Gear grinder. Some ADD kicks in. Also, Cap might try to finish with it in the next 3 weeks. Been finishing a list. Okay. Okay. So yeah, use cap. Go back and forth. I love it. Go back and forth. Watch the video I just sent you, Gear Grinder. See how it is. Why don't you try to stick with one vendor to read and then do cap and STC questions? Okay. Okay, here we go. Yeah, so don't sweat the formulas too much. Okay, let's talk about it. So the CAPM formula is actually just beta, right? It's your expected return, maybe minus the risk-free rate over times beta, okay? So if you have a beta 1.5, it's going to be market return minus the risk-free rate times beta, and then you add the risk-free rate back in. That's CAPM. Or just it's straight up just market return times beta, 1.5, 8.8, whatever it is. And that's CAPM. It's basically you're betting on your expected return based on a given level of risk. Okay, now. Okay. Sharp ratio is, most of the time it's just about what does it mean? Sharp ratio is, am I getting enough reward for the risk I'm taking? So that is going to be expected return, again, minus a risk-free rate divided by standard deviation. But I got a question, and the only thing that came up was portfolio benefit versus portfolio risk. That works. So it's basically risk versus reward. Is my reward high enough to govern, to offset the risk I'm taking? Then again, they measure it by doing expected return minus a risk-free rate, so you're finding risk premium, divided by standard deviation. Efficient market theory, there's no formula for that. They're not going to do that. Don't sweat the formulas too much. They're not going to be the thing. But now remember, for present value, you need the future value, the rate of return in the years. For future value, you need the present value, the number of years, and the rate of return. And to get future value, you're going to multiply, and on present value, you're going to divide. Find my time value money video. Again, Ashley, we're going to nail this. Don't worry. You're in good shape. Don't sweat the formulas too much. If you know current yield, if you know the, and I think they're in the 66, so even that has even less math. But again, CAPM, I just said it. It's the beta formula. Sharp is, am I getting enough reward for the risk I'm taking? Earnings per share is earnings divided by shares. PE ratio is price divided by earnings. Price to book is market price divided by book value. Okay. Stephanie, watch that video. It'll help you a lot. Okay. Okay, let's do this. Okay. Let's get on this. Okay. So now, again, like I said, this is FINRA night. This is NASA night. But if it's a generic thing about test taking, I'm happy to help you with the other exams. Okay. Because I'm not a total dick. So let's talk about this. So if I'm an issuer, I will file I'll go through all of them. So if I'm an issuer that's registered with the SEC, I will file a quarterly statement called the 10Q. You're welcome. Then 10Q, you're welcome. You get it. And then at the end of the year, I'll do a 10K, which is the 10Q. And remember, there's no real 10K because it's there's no real fourth quarter 10Q because the 10K, the annual 10K encompasses the fourth quarter 10Q. Then the 8K is when they do stuff in between, like announcements in between. They file it at Edgar, but that doesn't matter. It's with the SEC and then public. Then if you get over 5%, you file a 13D or a 13G. What the hell's the difference? Well, 13G is your passive owner. A 13D is your activist owner. So let's explain it this way. So they were yelling at Elon Musk for filing too late, blah, blah, blah. But when he got over 5%, then what happened is he filed the 13G because he was going to be a passive owner. Then he decided, you know what? I think I want to get involved. This is when he bought Twitter, right? So he got over 5%. He filed the 13G to be passive. Then he goes, well, he wants a board seat. So I said, okay, well, it has to change. So 2 days later, he filed the 13D, D for devious. So think 13G for good, 13D for devious. You're going to try to be an active owner. Okay? If you want to have a board seat or active owner, be an activist, try to be involved, you got to for a 13D. A 13G is for you just going to buy shares and go, hey, I just enjoy the ride. Now, and then usually a 13D is followed by like an offer or nothing, or a board seat offer or something like that, or a tender offer. Now, a 13F is usually for investment company or investment management firms that manage over $100 million. So if you have AUM of over $100 million, the firm, not the individual, you are considered a large trader, and you have to file a 13F every quarter listing all your security holdings. That's why all mutual funds, you can actually see what they did hold prior but you can't tell what they have now because they trade all day long, but they literally have like 45 days at the end of the quarter. So again, 10Q is quarterly for the issuers. 10K is annual. The 8K is for special shit. 13G is for passive owner when you get over 5%. 13D is for an activist owner when you're over 5%. 13F is for a large manager of money. They have to, if they're over whatever I just said, I forgot the 100 million, they got to report, they got to do a 13F every quarter. I think that works. Okay. I may be caught up. I'm only 3 minutes behind. Take one quiz at a time, and anything under 70, reread. Oh, that's all you're doing. Just don't make sure you're over 70. Just keep moving, right? So if equities, any of these, this is for any test, right? So if you score like a 65 on equities or for broker-dealer stuff, read the chapter again and then move on to the next chapter. Don't take another quiz again because you're going to run out. Because I want to see because if you just read it, then of course your score's going to be hard. I don't want to do that because then it's like it's false confidence. Take the test, quiz, under 70, read, then move on to the next chapter and keep rinse, repeat, rinse, repeat, rinse, repeat. That's what you do. Okay. You're about to hear the dogs bark, I think. Let's see. Let's see. Maybe. We'll find out. I've been testing super high on STC and Kaplan. Got a green light. Nope, I guess not yet. Got a green light for 7. Oh, that's great. I'm reading horror stories about people. Okay, get off the fucking Reddit. I'm telling you. Lloyd, get off Reddit. I don't know if that's where you're reading the horror stories. Because you're not reading them in my Facebook group because there's not a lot of people failing. Okay? I'm telling you right now, do not. This is what I tell everyone. Everyone says, what should I do the last week? One of them is don't go on fucking Reddit. Because what's going to happen is just by dumb luck, Murphy's Law, luck of the Irish, which is actually a bad thing. Everyone thinks it's a good thing. It's actually a bad thing. You will invariably read something the night before that will fuck with your head. Because it's anonymous. People can write whatever they want. So you don't know who it is. It could be just an asshole. It could be somebody normal. It could be somebody who lies on it and says, I studied for a month. Like there's a girl who was on here the other night. And I was trying to help her out. And she said she only had a week to study, but what she did was she took the entire month of Ramadan off. She barely studied, and I think she passed. And I don't know, but it sort of sounded like she only had a week, but she really had a month and a week, but she didn't use it. So on Reddit, you're seeing somebody say, "Oh, I took it and I failed, but I studied for a month." Well, they might have studied for an hour a day. So don't base anything on that. Don't freak out, Ashley. You know your shit, okay? If you're scoring that, if you got a green light of 79 and you weren't memorizing, which I don't think you are, you're in good shape. We're going to see you tomorrow night, hopefully. You're going to be fine. Get off fucking social media. Don't rewatch mine. Don't watch Instagram. Don't watch my Series 7 Whisper. I'm going to do a plug now. I have Instagram and TikTok. Both are called Series 7 Whisper. They've been around since 2019. I only started publishing actively on Instagram about maybe a year ago, and it's bumped up the viewership a little bit. TikTok I've been on for a little bit longer, more active. I have like almost 21,000 subscribers on there. Nobody gives a shit. And you see what's on here. Okay. So stay off social media. See, every time I say Siri's anything, it says, what do you want? My phone finally answers Siri. Okay. Oh, that'll happen again. Okay. That's a good question. Okay. Lloyd, Matt, thank you very much. I love it. I love that. Thank you very much, Matt. Does that mean you passed? Okay. Lloyd Lama. I wish I had a Lloyd song. Oh, that's so calming. That's kind of calming, but we're not going to do that one. Where's a good one? Maybe.
Shut up in your face.
Nope. That's what I tell other people.
Like a bullet to your brain. Upside, inside out. Living la vida loca. She'll push and pull you down.
I love it, Lloyd, baby. Okay, 2 down, 1 to go. Hopefully only have 1 left to do, baby. Okay. Yeah, to be fair, you know what it is? I agree. I think if you can always do 2 vendors, if you can afford it and it's not going to break the bank, or I tell people share, maybe find someone in a study group and you kind of swap. You know, like swapping wives, swapping whatever. I'm kidding. Be swingers about the books. Okay, so now have the upside down pineapple outside on your chat room. So now they don't offer a total right now. I'm thinking about upside down pineapples. That's not bad. So now, I am a big fan of using multiple vendors because it keeps you on your toes. I really do. I do like that a lot. Okay. Okay. Super. Okay. I'm getting shit because my Wall Street wrap up that I do, I said happy Friday, April 10th. I thought that today was Friday. And I should have known, but now everyone's like, oh my God, I thought the weekend was out. Okay. There we go. Okay. Okay, you in Cranston. Hold on 1 second. I'll get to you in a second. Natalie, okay. Yes, go spend a day reading. Spend like 2 days reading your lowest sections. That's what you best do, okay? Okay? But right now, what you should do is focus on going over the lowest sections. Okay? I'll stay there 1 second, people. Okay. Okay. Here we go. Okay. So I would say spend a couple days reading. The diagnostic's not easy, okay? I would spend a couple days reading the lowest sections. That will find my crash, watch, or at least watch my videos in lowest sections, and then make sure options are going to save you. Make sure that you're solid on options, and go over the answers on the Notman stuff. If you feel that they're like if you read them and you got them wrong because you misunderstood what they're asking, that's different than not knowing. Okay, so not knowing is bad, but if it's missing like you're missing a word or the convoluted part, because Notman does have hard questions. They're good. I just think their questions are a little convoluted. Okay. I don't know what the answers are, so let's talk about what you need. Okay, so okay. So now you have to do a couple of things for the website, right? So if you are going to do, this is what I think I remember from reading the NASAA, okay? You have to clearly offer, you have to put the Form ADVs Part 2A on there. I think you have to do that, the brochure, okay? You can actually ask them for if they can get a physical copy. You have to have an SP disclosure. Now, you have to have a disclaimer that the website is for informational purposes only. It does not constitute a recommendation or offer to buy. Registration does not imply a certain level of skill or training. You probably have to have something saying investment advisory services offered only in jurisdiction where properly registered or exempt. When you're doing performance, you have to have clear disclosures. You have to show an entire year's, okay? You have to show an entire year, at least 12 months worth of stuff of all your picks. And if you're going to show gross performance, you have to show net also. You can't just use gross. That's the big thing. On your website, you cannot ever use gross performance. Okay, now, okay, we're not done. And you should have the firm's name, the principal address, phone number, and email. Okay. Don't use testimonials unless you're in full compliance with the SEC's marketing rule. Don't ever say, don't use misleading claims. And you have to always remember to update it if your ADV changes. Okay. Hope that helps. I don't know what they're asking. By the way, so Unkratsen, sadly, that's the only time a 69 is bad. And you got it twice. Okay. But again, I don't know what else you can say. That you got to make sure that there's a disclosures on there, that you have to make sure if you show performance, you have to show at least 12 months. You should put the ADV Part 2 on there, 2A and 2B. Some sort of disclaimer that is not an offer. Some sort of disclaimer that it can only be sold in states where you're registered or you're exempt. Those are the big ones. And any kind of chart, chart or graph or tool that you put on there, you have to disclose the results may vary, and there may be difficulties and limitations on using that graph. Okay. Natalie, we got it together, baby. Okay, here we go. I may be done early. Okay, I'm taking the 6 as pretty close. What do you mean? Are you not using the STC questions? Studying for the 6. Here's the thing. It's much more, and since we're near the end, I don't mind talking about it. What's up, Folded Mink? Okay, here we go. Back to this. So on that 6, and everyone here probably should be done with this already. On this was normally the NASAA night, but again, we're near the end, so I'm okay. Make sure I would reread, not just 2 questions on it. Reread mutual funds, reread annuities, reread communications, reread in opening accounts, and suitability. That's it. Well, okay. Yeah, Blue Owl's a great firm. It absolutely is. It's an awesome firm. My son is leaving to another. My son-in-law is going to another firm in about 2 weeks. He's given notice already, so it's not a secret. So he'll be moving on, and I'll be wearing a different hat at some point. I guess I still like Blue Owl, though. I still own shares even in this downturn, baby. Okay. Now that's a great question, Ashley. I don't fucking know, but if I was going to put anything, I would put the bond triangle. I might put like a little reminder of like broker dealer, like SEC. I may put I don't know if you've seen the box I have. You can do like an options box too if you want, but I don't think it's going to help as much as people think it will. More about the hedging. Like I would put the bond triangle or seesaw, teeter totter, whatever you guys fucking use. I would put some sort of option thing of like if I'm long stock, I sell a call for income, buy a put for protection. Or if I'm short stock, I buy a call for protection, sell a put for income, things like that. I would put my box of where I talk about the broker dealers and stuff, right? Boom, there we go, Natalie. Thank you for joining Serious Study, baby. Okay. A couple other people joined the option stuff too. Brittany from before I saw that. Now, let me back on this. So a dump sheet, it's not really a dump sheet test. However, bond triangle, teeter totter, seesaw, whatever. Slobs over bliss, I would put on there because it's easy. I would put the options, like what I said about options. If you're long stock, you either sell a call for income or buy a put for protection. And short stock, it's the opposite. Buy a call for protection, sell a put for income. I would put, again, my BD box thing that I have. Hold on, let me see if I can do it. Show it here. Like I would write some version of this thing. You won't be able to see all of it, but let's see. Sometimes it's too small sometimes. That's what she said. Hold on. Yeah, like that thing I would put on here. Let's see if I can do a better job. That's kind of small. So I have this on there. Okay. That's worse. Okay. So I have some version of this. Like broker dealer, it's registered to SEC. This is in my video, in my quick and easy video. I had like I would write some version of this. Okay, just saying it, throwing it out there. Okay, just throwing it out there. So that's me. And really, I wouldn't waste a lot of time, Ashley. Other than that, that's kind of it. Okay. Unshare. And by the way, if you guys want to see this, I can leave it up for a second. But also remember, it's in my quick and easy 63 regulations video where I go through, instead of just copying it, you can write it with me and build it up. It's fucking awesome. Okay. Stop screen sharing. Boom, I'm back. Okay. Now, folding mink. I agree. I think my options, again, this is only for taking the 7. Tonight's NASAA night. So most of you have hopefully passed it, or are you doing it out of order, which is fine. The options thing will change your life. But if you're not taking the 7, save your money. If you're not, listen, folding mink, I love it. I appreciate it. It will help you. The option stuff will save your ass, okay? But if you're not taking the 7, do not spend a fucking dime with me. Now, this is a question a lot of people get. If you're starting out, what test to take first? So a lot of people, like if you're going to work at like some places like Morgan Stanley's, Edward Jones, they only give you one shot at some of these exams, right? So I would say if you're in the interview, if you're just thinking about joining the business, right? And again, some of you may or may not be, somebody may watch it tomorrow. if you're thinking about joining the business, get the SIE out of the way early. Just boom, get it out. It looks good on the resume. And secondly, get your 66 going. Get the 66. Because if you can get those two out of the way, the 7 will be a cakewalk. Not that it's easier. It's just less pressure. Because they go, oh, I only have 3 months to get all my exams. Okay. What does that do for me, right? That is going to be, that means I have pressure. So, but if you can get the SIE and the 66 out of the way, that works. The problem is if you're going to go to a place that it will own like a Primerica, which is fine, but they only sponsor for the 6, then your 66 is sort of worthless. You'll have to go the 63, 65 route, which is totally fine. It's the same thing. It's just a different, it's 2 tests versus 1. Now, what's very cool about the 65 is if you don't want to work for a broker-dealer, which a lot of people have done, where they get about early 2000s, there was a big outflux of people leaving broker-dealers and just hanging up a shingle or working for IAs only, where they were not working for broker-dealers because they did not want to be under FINRA's guys, right? Because some people think FINRA's not good or whatever. I like them for the most part, but they're regulators, so I can be mad at them. But if you work for if you just get your 65, it's a standalone, right? So you can literally open your own shingle as an IA with just a 65. And you can do almost everything you can do with the 7, except for not actually do executions. But what you do is you just send it to a broker-dealer. And then you're done, okay? That's the way it goes, okay? Michael, I appreciate it. I do appreciate it. Where are we? And that's kind of it. I mean, I just wanted to do a little filler in case anyone else had another question. If not, I get out of here 2 minutes early. Any last minute questions before I head out? It's Thursday. It's a rainy Thursday here in the Northeast. Kind of sucks. It's going to rain all weekend, even like I said, during senior day. Go check out. Again, if you guys are bored and you want to see other stuff, I do a lot of more short stuff. I do the shorts on YouTube, right? But I do a lot more shorty stuff on Instagram and TikTok under CF7 Whisper. I do every day when it's crazy. I try to do like a Wall Street wrap up, like just a little 3 or 4 minute video on what happened that day on Wall Street. Like I just did it. I did a video, about a 5-minute video on what possible things can happen out of these tariffs, stuff like that. Okay, all little things. Okay, hey, Michael, I appreciate it. Folding, I love having you on here. How is everything going? I may not have time to see it, but how's your business going? You must be killing it. It's been a year, right? And that's the thing. I do like when people come on and tell us how they're doing, like moving forward, because it makes people feel good. They go, oh, it's good, or if it's good or bad, it is what it is. It's a lot of fun. Okay. It's a lot of fun to hear how people are going. So if you don't answer before I jump off, Folding, please come on Tuesday and give us a rundown on how your career has gone since you passed a year ago, because people do like to hear that shit. So I'm going to give it about 30 seconds before I shut this fucker down. Okay. I'm going to play one quick video real quick. It's 28 seconds long. Then when that's over, there's no more questions, then I'm going to head it out.
Today's the day. You've been studying your ass up. You got good night's sleep. You've been reading.
That's great.
Your dump sheet done. You're going to walk in there like a fucking badass. You're going to get this, okay? This is the day. You've been working. This is what it all leads to. Today. This is it. You're going to go in there. You're going to read every fucking word. You're going to come out there like a champ. I know you're going to feel like you're failing the whole time, but you're not, because you're going to do this. You're going to nail this thing.
Mike, that's very funny. I don't know if you heard me say it. That's very funny that you caught on to my Friday night thing. That's very good. I love it. So, some people are quick. Sometimes I'm on such a roll that I don't catch stuff, but I do get them eventually. I'll get around. So I'm like a tanker. So I make some things I get good and some things it takes me a while to get to. Anyway, everyone, I am going to head out. You all have a good week. Have a great weekend. Happy Friday. Ha, ha, ha. And what is that? Let's see. What is that? Oh, that's interesting. I don't even know what I just did. Let's see. Then we're back. Uh-oh. Oh, I see what happened. Oh, well. Hello. I'm going to head out of here. I fucked with everything, but whatever it is, what it is. And we're going to go. I don't know why I did this, but you can see my eyes. I'm like, what, me, Kilroy? Adios, people. I will see you.